Hey guys, this is Nick. We're here with the list featuring top 10 best PC games of September 2020. There are lots of remasters this month and some very immersive titles to check out. Without further delay, let's dive straight into our first pick of the month. Medieval Dynasty. It is an amazing RPG action-adventure game set in medieval times. The premise of Medieval Dynasty is simple. Start as a lone survivor and become the ruler of a dynasty. This game covers lots of genres, namely simulation, strategy, survival, action-adventure, and open-world RPG. You begin as this poor but skilled peasant, stranded in the forest with your wife and son. You have nothing other than a water bottle, which you'll need to fill as soon as you can. Starting a dynasty from scratch is thirsty work. There's a big medieval ages open world to explore, beasts to hunt, places to discover, and caves to plunder. The game also has unique events and decisions with direct impact on gameplay. Start building a small outpost in the medieval world, hunt for food, gather resources, and craft equipment to build your home and other buildings, forming a village. Attract new villagers to help you expand your dynasty, eventually becoming a dynasty ruler. The journey won't be as easy as it sounds, and for anyone looking for a deep role-playing game, this is one of the best. Next, Marvel's Avengers. It is the latest Avengers action-adventure game from Marvel. It is a third-person action-adventure game that combines an original cinematic story with single-player and co-op gameplay. You can also make a team of up to 4 players online for co-op play, customize your roster of heroes, and defend Earth from incoming threats. About the story, it goes like this. A catastrophic accident occurs, the Avengers get blamed for the tragedy, they disband, and 5 years later, with all superheroes outlawed and the world in peril, a young woman named Kamala Khan sets to reassemble the Avengers to stop a new evil force known as AIM. Each character has their own unique attacks, special abilities, and signature style, which are a lot of fun, especially Hulk. For Avengers fans, this is a must-play, as it will also uncover the new Avenger, Miss Marvel, which you will probably see in future movies too. Next on the list, Ari and the Secret of Seasons. It is an action-adventure role-playing game. You play as a girl named Ari, and you have the power to take control of the seasons and use them to solve puzzles, defeat enemies, and discover the cool-looking world of Valdi in this award-winning indie adventure. It is a fantasy adventure similar to the Legend of Zelda series, with simple gameplay that is more relaxing than intriguing. It has very rewarding exploration, and you will love the playful nature of Ari herself. With the power of the seasons, Ari can traverse sweeping landscapes in search of new destinations, solving environmental puzzles to progress through the story. The world feels like the sister of the Zelda series, not as detailed, but pretty good, combined with a nice soundtrack. Combat puzzles and platforming are not too challenging, reminding us of the days of simple platformers. Moving on to WRC 9. The World Rally Championship has been a long-lasting part of the racing game genre, and WRC 9 is the latest game to adapt to the official World Rally Championship. It's definitely got the same sense of fun as WRC 8, with the player needing to pay attention to their co-driver to stay one step ahead of the routes they're driving. The rallies chosen for the preview gave a decent taste of the varied environments, from dusty gravel roads to frozen climbs, with the player needing to treat each condition differently to ensure they finish with the best possible time, particularly in diverse weather conditions. When it comes to locations, WRC 9 will add 3 new rallies to the series, with Japan, New Zealand, and Kenya appearing. WRC 9 is an awful lot of fun so far, and those who've enjoyed the previous game will find a lot more to love here. Next, WWE 2K Battlegrounds. This is an action-packed, little cartoony-style WWE game. This is your battleground with all new, over-the-top, in-your-face arcade action as WWE superstars battle it out in outlandish environments. There are many match types where WWE superstars battle using their special abilities and power-ups, including Steel Cage, Royal Rumble, Fatal 4-Way, and more. It has a story mode told through original comic strips along Paul Heyman and Stone Cold Steve Austin. The game will feature a roster of over 70 characters. You can create and customize characters in numerous ways, including their physical appearance, their items, as well as the type of fighter they'll be. You can compete in online tournaments, plus there is a local multiplayer to play with your friends, which can be a great experience for couch co-op players. Next on the list, Crysis Remastered. And we have another remaster, but this one is Legend, wait for it, Dairy. In a lot of ways, the original Crysis in 2007 was the definitive PC showcase. It was so demanding and visually impressive that it became a benchmark for measuring graphics cards. Now, 13 years later, the much-loved FPS has gotten a remaster. Honestly, as compared to current or next-gen games, Crysis Remastered is really not a big deal, but it's still an engaging FPS action game in 2020, as its open-ended missions, superpowered nano-suit abilities, and flexible weapon attachment system largely still make the game a worthwhile experience. The iconic nanosuit with its 4 different modes, strength, speed, stealth, and armor, is still breathtaking and the highlight of the game. Players also get a robust weapon customization system. Lasting around 7 hours, the Crysis campaign is amazing, and for anyone who has not played the original Crysis, what is wrong with you? But really, this is a must-play game. Next on the list, Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning. It is also a remastered version of an original game, Kingdoms of Amalur: Reckoning, now with nicer graphics and refined gameplay. The original title was a serviceable action RPG when it released in 2012. This Re-Reckoning version delivers great customizable RPG combat inside a sprawling game world. The story unfolds the secrets of Amalur, from the vibrant city of Rathir to the vast regions of Talentarth and the dungeons of the Brigand Hall Caverns. Your goal is to rescue a world torn apart by a vicious war and control the keys to immortality as the first warrior ever to be rescued from death. You build the character for combat, choosing from the large number of skills, abilities, weapons, and armor pieces. The game also covers all the DLCs from the original series. The world is very well written by best-selling author R.A. Salvatore and developed by Oblivion developers. A real gem for RPG fans. Next, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. This remaster is a collection of the iconic PlayStation-era games that aims to take everything players loved about the original Tony Hawk's Pro Skater series, the skaters, the courses, the tricks, and update them so they feel at home in 2020. The blocky, muddy characters and environments have been replaced with much more realistic visuals. The characters in particular look great. The walls you smash through to reach ground level, the hard-to-reach office space, the taxi cab are still there. There are also new online and creation elements, along with a modern cast of skaters. It plays like classic Tony Hawk while looking like a brand new game. There's just enough realism and difficulty in pulling off cool tricks that it captures the excitement of skateboarding without all the frustration. Even if you're bad at it, it's still fun. Next on the list, Crusader Kings 3. It is a strategy simulation RPG with a focus on medieval periods of history. It starts where the last game left off, at least in terms of systems, but it does a better job of explaining these complicated systems and nudging you down the most engaging paths. You choose from a royal or noble house, from a number of realms on a map that stretches from Iceland to India and from the Arctic Circle to Central Africa. Your task is to guide a dynasty through the centuries, ensuring the security and power of each new generation. Gather new lands and titles to cement your legacy. It's a relentlessly engaging game, and while many of the improvements are subtle, they contribute to a game that feels simultaneously larger and easier to grasp. When it comes to the novel strategy role-playing and dynastic drama, that's where Crusader Kings 3 thrives. And last but not least, eFootball PES 2021 Season Update. Note that this is not a new game, but an updated edition of eFootball PES 2020, which launched in September 2019, containing the latest player data and club rosters. PES 2021 is intended as a seasonal update to the previous title, maintaining the same mechanics, visuals, and modes players associate with. So, owners of PES 2020 will be hugely familiar with most of what this seasonal update will offer. The big changes are in license, players, and other additions. In-game, you will have access to the rosters of FC Barcelona, Manchester United, Juventus, Arsenal, and FC Bayern. It also comes with the UEFA Euro 2020 mode at a discounted price. You can also create your very own team from scratch and face off against human rivals from all over the world. PES 2021 will be the first time the franchise is without a main entry, which is maybe strange. And that wraps up our list for best PC games for this month. If you have something to share, write us in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to see more awesome game compilations in the future. See you guys.